and gentlemen, Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to this week's episode of AEW Dynamite Recap Show. Hopefully, everybody's having a good week. We are definitely into summer right now, getting 90-degree weather here in Georgia as we speak. Well, it's starting to cool off now because it's nighttime. Anyway, no need to be technical, right? So hopefully, everybody's staying hydrated and staying as cool as they can. Uh, the fans at the Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa, though, got to see some red hot action. A little bit of build up to Forbidden Door pay per view and the Elite throwing out a challenge. Speaking of throwing things out, hey, if you like this video and click on that like button and are entertained, excuse me, click on that like button. Also, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this week's Dynamite and be a champ and click on that subscribe button. With all that out of the way, let's let her rip. So yes, we got a looks like a decent card for this week's episode of Dynamite. But kicking things off, it is Swerve Strickland. He comes out to the ring. Prince Nana is literally showing his ass. Should have put a blockade on that. I didn't care to see that. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people didn't either. But hey, who am I to judge? If you enjoyed it, to each his own. Anyway, Swerve says Will Ospreay needs to get the eye of the tiger back. He's showed signs of having that killer instinct, but he needs to get it back. The elite come out. Okada says this is his house, but the elite come out to the ring and say, "Look, throwing out an olive branch here. We're going to challenge the best of AEW to a blood and guts match. We'll we would love for you to join us here. We know you like sneakers. Have a pair of our sneakers." He gave him to Prince Nana, gave him the signal, say Prince Nana. Nana threw him out to the crowd. So some lucky fan got size 9 Reebok sneakers, Young Bucks brand pumps, whatever. Uh, I didn't even know Reebok was still around. That's a bad thing about it. Anyway, I digress. But it looked like the Elite was going to attack uh, Swerve Strickland, but the Acclaim came out, saved the day. Christopher Daniels came out and said, "Look, we got this TNT ladder match qualifier going on. Jack Perry, your qualifying match starts right now." Of course, he wasn't none too happy with it since he was still in his street clothes. So uh, he still had no choice. Had to go to work. All right. So our first match of the night is a TNT Championship qualifying match. Remember, they're going to have a ladder match to determine the new TNT champion since Adam Copeland broke his leg, cannot defend the championship anymore. So here we go. We had Dustin get some shine. Then he bled after the match spilled out to the floor. Jack Perry held the advantage until Dustin counted a V trigger into a power slam. Uh, End of the match, DT on the floor gave the advantage back to Jungle Boy. Uh, he would he would nail Hill in the webos that the ref, of course, missed for whatever reason. But of course, the Dustin gave the middle finger, which is signal to end the match. Jungle Boy hit a knee strike for the 1, 2, 3, and so Jungle Boy, no surprise, is going to be in that ladder match to determine the new TNT champion. All right, next up we have El Toro Blanco Roosh. Uh, don't get it, but hey, it's been working for him. He go against the member of the Hammenegger World Order, Dion Rushman. Poor Hammenegger did not have a chance. Rush would just beat the hell out of him through the whole match. Hit the bull's horn for the win. Uh, but Rush felt like giving the poor guy a little more of a whooping, so he backed him in the corner. Is going to hit the bull's horns again. That's when MJF's music hits. They come in. They start throwing hands. Kind of confused because I thought, since MJF is back, why these two hate each other. Um, I don't get it. Shouldn't he be feuding with the Undisputed Kingdom? but did they? I guess they kind of blew that load when MJF came back and he uh he kind of knocked uh, Adam Cole out. Anyway, whatever. So next week it'll be MJF and Roosh, and I think it's some kind of gimmick match, I guess street fight, whatever. So hey, it's going to blow a load live on television. Next, all right, next up, pretty good match. Can't really say anything too bad about this one. It was Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, and Orange Cassidy going against Kosuke Takeshita. So no T in the name. Just act like that T is an N. So it's Takeshita. Kyle Fletcher, which I'm pretty high on him, and Roger Strong. Uh, I hate a gimmick, but the whole yelling at him gimmick, but now he's kind of going back to just being a pure wrestler. Anyway, Baby's had the advantage until Takeshita nailed Cassidy on the outside with a vicious forearm when he was distracted by Trent Beretta. Heat on Cassidy, hot tag to O'Reilly. Everyone got their shit in. Uh, a number of false finishes, but Fletcher hit Briscoe with a knee or just a pile driver, but he went knees down, not butt down, almost like a tombstone pile driver, except for his face was not in Fletcher's crotch. His face was towards the audience, um, but it looked like they didn't have enough. They was going to attack, especially Trent was going to whoop up on Orange Cassidy some more. Willow Nightingale's music hits, but when she comes out, she's came out getting her ass kicked by Chris Statlander. So uh, there you have it. A little more sizzle on the steak between the feud of Willow and Chris Statlander, and I guess she's part of the kingdom or part of the family. Who knows? With Stokely there, um, but pretty good win for the family and one member of the Undisputed Kingdom. All right, next up we have the premier athletes, Tony Nese and Ariya Davaria with Smart Mark Sterling going against Samoa Joe and Hook with Katsuari Shibata. Excuse me, I butchered that name. Sorry. Anyway, Shibata came out holding the camera and kind of helped him out a little bit. This was pretty much another squash match with uh, Joe the hooking one of them up with the sleeper or the chokehold. Hook had the red rum and Shibata had this chokehold on Smart Mark Sterling on the outside, but in the end it was Hook Samoa Joe gaining the victory in this match. And I gotta admit I kind of like it. Now it's Samoa Joe playing the role of veteran teaching a young guy. I dig it. Uh, that's more of a better fit, Joe and Hook. Even though I kind of said some things like, I don't look like maybe a UFC fighter, I guess, in the lightweight division, but just don't see him throwing around 300-pound wrestlers. But uh, I don't like this shit. so so it's a better fit. The shooter style wrestler, Samoa Joe, being the veteran, the Hook, I can dig it. All right, next up we got a TNT or TBS, excuse me, TBS title match. Of course, that is the ladies' version, I guess, of a TV title. Anyway, it is Mercedes Monet defending against X6, I guess that's her name. Anyway, not as good as Monet and Willow. Uh, kind of, it was kind of slow motion match. Uh, not really any botches, but not really that crisp. I guess they're not really that familiar with each other, but it is what it is. Zuexis got to shine a little bit, a little back and forth between the two. Monet, of course, wins with a moneymaker and keeps the TBS championship. Of course, she's going against another contender, the New Japan. uh, never open women's champion. So a title she held before as well. So that's what they're kind of gearing that up for. So yeah, it was really no surprise that Monet will win this one. All right, now it's time for TV time with the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho. This is so cringe, it's funny because you know he's doing it on purpose, giving out helpful hints, whether they're right or wrong, it doesn't matter. Anyway, the special guest for the Learning Tree this week is Private Party. Jericho says, don't know who trained you, but you not so good at the basics. I was trained by the legendary Stu Hart in the dungeon. I know all about the basics, and you guys got nice top rope moves, but gosh, guys, you can't climb up the top rope right. So Jericho showed him how to do it. Of course, you know what's going to happen here. Private Party swept the leg, causing Jericho to fall on top of the turnbuckle. They would uh, take care of Redwood, Big Bill, and Bad Apple, uh, the bounty hunter. I keep I keep messing with that name. Anyway, they would get back in the ring, do the swanton and shooting star press on the learn tree. So I guess they're uh, going to have Private Party go up against uh, either two, one or two of the members of the learning tree faction there. But like I said, Jericho is pretty hilarious in this. Again, gosh, dude's a pro. If he knows if he needs to change something up, he'll figure a way to change things up. All right, next up we got a match between Daniel Garcia. He is eyeballing the AEW International Championship. The champion Will Ospreay was in the back, kind of watching on the screen. He took on another member of the Hammenegger World Order, that being Nick Comoroto. Of course, this wasn't much of a match. Uh, Garcia pretty much made short work of the guy. Had a guillotine hold, and I guess I call this the Red Cross, which is a version of the DDT. 1, 2, 3. Garcia wins, and celebration in the crowd. All right, it is main event time. It is Will Ospreay defending the AEW International Championship against Ray Phoenix. Really good back and forth match here. Again, plenty of little near falls here and there. Just playing that, who's going to knock who's out first, who's going to nail that, knockout punch first, so to speak. Osprey got back the advantage at the end, went to the top rope, looked at Swerve Strickland and said, hey, this is his house now. Hit the Swerve stomp, then nailed the hidden blade. 1, 2, 3. Will Ospreay successfully defends his international championship. Like I said, a good match here. Of course, Swerve didn't like too much him using his move. He got in the ring and kind of pretty much told him he didn't appreciate that. Will Ospreay then grabbed one of the belts and put it on both shoulders after uh, Strickland said, "Hey, you're not ready for this. You can't carry this weight." And he just put both belts on the corner, on the shoulders, and said, "Oh, it feels pretty good." And uh, Swerve got very serious with him and said, "Look, you lucky you my friend. Anybody else I would have killed." See, stuff like that, lines like that, I don't like. He should have said, if you want my friend, I will hurt you right now. That's all he had to say. Because nobody's gonna try to kill anybody here. Anyway, that's it for this week's Dynamite. Let me plug a few things here. Every Tuesday, I have a trivia show called Wrestling Trivia Tuesday. So if you think you're pretty good at wrestling trivia, and sometimes I'll blurt out some history stuff, so you might learn something. Who knows? But yeah, I usually ask 5 questions, all dealing with professional wrestling. It's usually available. It's available on Tuesdays. Check your local listings. Sorry about that. Usually I have it put up by 10 a.m. Tuesday morning. So uh, this one is up. Check it out. That's Wrestling Trivia Tuesdays. on Tuesdays. Then, of course, I got my weekly WWE Raw recap show. Of course, next Monday will be uh, the blow off of the Clash at the Castle. Of course, if you want to see the uh, go home show, or the go home recap show, it's already up, available to watch. Check it out. Be greatly appreciated. Of course, this is the bi-weekly, weekly AEW recap show. Of course, next week will be. I think next week's going to be the blow off of the or the go home show for Forbidden Door. I believe so. I'll recheck that. Anyway, speaking of this, usually is available on Thursdays. Speaking of Thursdays, of course, I got a live stream. It's called Spot Show Live Stream with me, Ronald Ray. It's every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Friday morning in Japan, and 5 a.m. Friday in India. This week we'll touch on some news and have some predictions for this week's WWE Premium Live event, Clash at the Castle. If you're not into today's wrestling, wants to just lay back and talk about some old school wrestling, then I got a show for you on Friday. It's another live stream. It's called Wrestling Gold Friday Night. We discuss the history that day in wrestling history. Also, we'll do a watch along this week. Going to do some world class. We'll see how that goes. That is Wrestling Gold Friday nights, every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Saturday morning in Japan, 5 a.m. Saturday morning for our friends in India. Like I said, this does it for this week's AEW Dynamite Show. Hope you folks have a good one and take it easy. Hey there, thank you for checking this out. If you enjoyed it, share with friends, drop a like button, leave a comment. Also, be a champ and hit that subscribe button. You can also check me out on social media, Facebook at Ronald Ray, on X or Twitter is RPATRPTV46. Until next time.
So long from the peach state of Georgia.